press release. Microphone it in.
All right. Yeah.
What? Cheers. Oh, cheers, yes. My company. My old company. Can I fix your collar? You're doing a great job.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I know. Before I come up, where would you like me to be seated so you can talk? Can you make an announcement?
Matt, I got your text message. Slept in.
Good morning. Nope, nope. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to make an announcement that Credentials Committee is open until 10:30. That was a false start. We're not starting yet. But the Credentials Committee booth is open until 10:30.
Larry, could you seat them over in Rhode Island? Larry, could you seat Sheena? Which one's one? Challenge this morning in Tesla.
Hold on.
Sheena? Sure. They'll sit you down.
Chair, vice chair. But they're going to have the vice, they're going to have the chair debates. Yeah, the chair debates, yeah. I'm not sure how. Even.
I've not been to national.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
I used to get to all the state conventions. I got too much drawn into the infight. I have to step back.
Folks, a couple of public service announcements. We have, if you check the agenda on your lnc2026.com, you'll see we have a number of breakout sessions. Folks who went to training this morning said it was some of the best training they'd ever had in their life. So we have a parallel training track opening up at noon. You can upgrade on the spot. So again, meet us over by the galleries. We've got a number of sessions. I want to talk about the Crypto Corner that we've got established. First time we're doing this. It's sponsored by the fine folks at Zano. They will be having a number of classes and lessons and feedback. They taught me, Maximum Boomer, how to use crypto. If they could do it, well, yikes. So please, again, while we're waiting for things to start, take a moment, visit our vendors, our booths. They're the ones that are making this convention happen. As your Secretary Evans just said, we're just going to need a little bit more time. We're adjusting for one of the candidates. A few things going on. So stay tuned. Spend some time with our vendors. We really appreciate it. And again, consider the training. Consider, in the last few days, we've had Ammon Bundy, Dr. Sheena Mead, and of course, well, Ross's mom. Provocative conversations about criminal justice. Those are the kind of conversations that are taking place right now, right here at your Libertarian National Convention. So, actually, come on up. No, I want you to talk about your session. Listen, the person I'm about to introduce, I think we know her. In addition to being a lifelong libertarian, literally, activist of the highest nature, she's going to be conducting a breakout session as well. Avens O'Brien.
I guess we're just killing time, guys. So there are some lovely lunch sessions going on today. We're going to have that international one, and then there's one you'll see in the program called Mycelial Networks, and that's going to be me and Larry from Decriminalized Nature. We're going to be talking about legalization efforts. We're going to be talking about the different ways that we're kind of approaching the legalization discussion and activism. And so it's going to be fun. It'll be the breakout session for lunch. So if you don't want to go see the Canadian and Russian and whoever else is going to be there, there's also us. We're going to talk about drugs. And hey, if you got one of the delegate packages and you got one of those lovely tote bags, you may have seen Zoom in your tote bag. I know some of you were on it last night because I got some really nice hugs. But yeah, if you haven't indulged yet and you have any questions, you can always approach me for a picture. But I would love to talk. I'm going to talk about my company and our products and our activism at lunch, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, guys.
All right, so I'm reaching out to my boomer friends. If you're a boomer and you're not crypto conversant, you're missing real opportunity. So the folks from Zano came over from Western Europe to spend time with us. Going to be closely working with libertarians around the world. So again, take a few minutes now. It's going to be a few minutes. And head over to the Crypto Corner. It's in the far corner of the building. And just ask them questions. It's a judgment-free environment. It's kind of like me going to the gym, okay? So take some opportunity. After the debates, both Lynn Ulbricht and Sheena Mead are going to take turns delivering speeches to all of you, keynote speeches. We've got a wide variety of keynote speeches today. So stay tuned for that as well. Yeah, probably. All right. Come on up.
We don't have substitution. So I think it's unconstitutional.
Folks, I need everybody to listen up for a second. Our good friend Donna has lost her laptop. It is in one of the convention bags. Can everyone just take a moment to make sure that they've got their own convention bag and didn't accidentally pick it up? I would imagine you're worried sick about it. You're worried sick about it. So please, please, please just take a moment out of our busy lives here and see if we can find some justice for Donna, all right? Right, so if you find it, Donna, wave. Wave to the crowd. That's Donna. Please, a minute of your time. I'm sure it's here somewhere. What's it? Okay. And then we go up. What's that? Everyone's flying around. So right after that's done, we start? Probably about 5 minutes away.
Okay. I was going to say at some point if you think I could get up and say I'm running for governor.
Absolutely.
If we're close, don't worry about it. Not a problem.
I'll figure out a way.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Excellent. Good news, folks. Donna is one with her laptop again. Say, yay, Donna. Hey, listen, this is important. I'm working on my shyness thing. So to come up here and learn to hold forth. Yeah. Big guy. That's what I'm going to call you forever. All right, folks. We're going to ask all the candidates who've gotten certified to come to the stage, which means we're going to be starting in just a few minutes. So, involved in today's debates, James Ostrowski, Jeremy Kaufman, Stephen Phillips, Evik McMahon, and Wes Benedict, and Rob Yates. So, if those folks could come up onto the stage. More importantly, if you're out milling about or you got a friend that's out milling about, the next half hour, hour or so is arguably going to be some of the most important conversations that we've had in recent memory as libertarians. This means everything to us. So again, Mr. Ostrowski, Mr. Kaufman, Mr. Phillips, McMahon, who's here, and Mr. Benedict. If anyone's seen Mr. Benedict, if you could have him come to the show. Please, all candidates for chairs who've had their signatures, Mr. Benedict is in the room. Yeah. Alvin's just did. Alvin's O'Brien. We need a photo of the whole group. You have a real photographer. Again, folks, we will be starting momentarily. I'm hoping and I'm sure that the big issues of the party are going to be discussed over the next hour or so. I'm asking folks to observe decorum. The gentleman who is our moderator deserves nothing less. There'll be ample opportunity for applause. Again, regardless of your feelings on the individual candidates, it's critical that they be given a chance to speak. We are a party that stands for free speech. That is our moral center. Allow each of these gentlemen the opportunity to do that. Are we ready to go? All right, folks, if I could ask folks to sit down, grab your seats. In my life, seldom have I met an individual who truly embodies, well, decorum, being a gentleman, being polite, being kind, while at the same time arguably possessing one of the great minds of the libertarian movement. Dr. James Lark is a professor at the School of Engineering and Applied Science at the University of Virginia. He is a former LNC chair, and he is a member of the Libertarian Party Hall of Liberty. His vision has helped us become the strong party that we are. His decorum has helped us also out through some of the most difficult times in the party's history. I bring to you Dr. James Lark. He will be moderating tonight's debate. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jim Lark. I'm a member of the Virginia delegation, and I have the honor of serving as the moderator for this chair's debate. I'd like to thank Mr. Ford for his very kind comments. I'm certainly not worthy of them, but I'll accept them all the same. The manner in which we will proceed, each of our candidates will give a 2-minute opening statement. Then I have been asked to ask questions. Each question will be asked of all 6 of the candidates, and they will have 1 minute to offer a response. And then finally, as we close, each of the candidates will have a 1-minute closing statement. And so I'll begin. I'll just take these in random. Mr. James Ostrowski. Please. Your opening statement, sir. I would assume that it would be nice if the microphones were turned on, yes.
Does this work?
Please.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for your service to the party for so many years. I think this is my 6th convention. I didn't go to 79, but my friend Roy Childs gave the keynote. And there was such a era of excitement and a winning vibe in the air. And we've had some disappointing results, and I think the reason I'm running is I want to get that 1979 vibe back. And I have a bunch of ideas to do it, new strategies, new marketing tactics, but that's really why I'm running. And the other reason, I guess, relates to another convention I attended as a young lawyer in New York, 1983. There was a big split in the party in 1983. And you know what? We've never recovered from it. So the other thing I want to do, I want to unify this party, stop fighting each other, so we can fight the bad guys, because the country is in trouble. And I'm not just talking the talk. I've done it. Everything I say I want to do, I've actually done. So how many people do you know who's a friend of Murray Rothbard's and a student, and worked for David Bose and worked for Ed Crane to try to end the war on drugs, and worked with Milton Friedman and William F. Buckley as well. So I want to bring the greatest idea, liberty, into the real world again, like we wanted to do in 1979, and that's why I'm running. And I hope you will consider my platform. It's in the newspaper in front of you. So thank you very much. And I want to thank my fellow candidates, all wonderful gentlemen. We've become quite friendly, and they're all great libertarians. Thank you.
Thank you. The next candidate, Jeremy Kaufman.
I'm running for chair because I care deeply about libertarianism.
Can we act like grown-ups, please?
I'm happy to have the audience make the case for me that the Libertarian Party is in the way of libertarianism succeeding. Why do you think people like Thomas Massey and Rand Paul don't want to call themselves libertarians? I'm happy to let the audience make the case for me that you guys, not all of you, some of you are very fine people, but you guys, a lot of you, are the problem. And I'm here to not let you be the problem anymore. Yes, sir, you are the problem. Man in the purple shirt who can't contain himself. You are the problem. Many of you are the problem. And I am the solution. Keep making the case. Libertarianism is a beautiful ideology. We believe in free markets. We believe in voluntary association. But we can't use the word because this party has increasingly been controlled by leftist freaks, degenerates, losers, and antisocial people who no one wants to work with. Libertarian Party of New Hampshire is the most successful state party in the entire country.
Kaufman, 2 minutes, please.
We're the most successful state. I helped make it the most successful state, and you guys are nothing but bitter about it.
Mr. Kaufman, 2 minutes. Thank you, sir. The next candidate, Stephen Phillips.
All y'all suck. This is the worst room I've ever been in. I agree with a lot Jeremy Kaufman said, but there's a lot of things I don't agree with him on. Our biggest problem is the faces you see in this room. You take it too serious, but then you don't take it serious at all. The biggest thing we've done so far was many people in this room supported Thomas Massey in his race. And that was the most important race of this country's. No, I'm not Republican. A lot of people in this room have called me Republican. I'm not. I am Libertarian. I'm tired of having to bounce around people that come dressed as retarded as they absolutely can, just to look nice. Exactly. I can use that word.
You have finished, Mr. Phillips? Thank you. The next candidate, Evan McMahon.
Good morning. My name's Evan McMahon. I'm the chairman of the Libertarian Party of Indiana. And I don't think the people in this room are the problem with the party. I think you're all heroes. I became chair of Indiana in 2021, and in a very short time, we doubled our fundraising, we grew our membership. We went from 13th in national membership to number 7th in national membership. We're number 1 in membership per capita, thank you. My focus is on growing our membership. Some of you may have heard that we have, if you read the reports that come out from staff once a month, which I'm sorry, it's really boring, but we only have 9,000 national members right now. But that's actually not true. We only have 6,000 active dues-paying members. The other members are lifetime members that haven't been active in a while. In 2000, we had 33,000 active members, and we were bringing in $3.3 million a year. Right now, we're bringing in less than $1 million. We can't compete if we don't have members. Members are the driving force of this party. You need members to have candidates. You need members to go out and phone bank and knock on doors and plant yard signs, to show up at rallies, to show up at the State House, to have people on your county committees, to have people working on your state affiliate board. Membership is the silver bullet. We have to have the numbers, we have to have the people, and I believe that within the next 2 years, we can have an army of over 66,000 dues-paid members of this party for our presidential candidate to go out and do the groundwork, and thus raising up our down-ballot tickets. Right now, there are 730,000 registered libertarians across the country. We need to get them engaged in the party.
Mr. McMahon.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next candidate is Wes Benedict.
Good morning. Thank you for coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to the Libertarian National Convention. I'm Wes Benedict from Austin, Texas. I worked for 8 years as the National Executive Director of the Libertarian Party. That was my full-time job in Washington, D.C., and then in Alexandria, Virginia. When I left in 2018, we had 14 members on staff. Since then, the number has dwindled down to more like 6, and some of them are part-time. Before working as the National Executive Director, I spent 4 years as the full-time paid Executive Director of the Libertarian Party of Texas. In 2006, we recruited 168 candidates on the ballot, and those candidates got over 7 million votes when you add them all up. It was more votes than all of the libertarians in the rest of the country combined. In 2008, we recruited 173 candidates. It was another record. We had 100 candidates, libertarian candidates, on the ballot for state representative. That was more than the Democrats ran. I think the reason I was able to do a good job on national staff is because I had served at the state level and served for 4 years, and I knew the challenges that the volunteers and the county chairs and the candidates have to go through. When I recruited candidates, I usually had to twist their arms a little bit, but I always told them, yes, we need you to run. No, no one else will do it. If you do it, I will help you fill out your paperwork and submit your campaign finance reports.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next candidate is Rob Yates.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. Thank you all for being here at the convention. Thank you for everything you do in this fight for liberty. My name is Rob Yates, out of the state of North Carolina. I met a delegate from Michigan, where we are this morning, Rick Thielen. Rick has a farm that has been in his family for nearly 100 years, 150 acres, and right now he is facing eminent domain for a data center. They want to put a bunch of big power lines and split his farm. He's telling me he's got 8 kids. He wants his kids to put houses on this farm, grow up there. I'm like, that's beautiful. That's the American dream we were sold, and the crushing weight of the omnipotent state is truly destroying that. And I highlight Rick because I would encourage all of you to talk to him and ask how you can help. He's here. But we hear stories like this all the time. We're fighting for liberty, and we're watching the state just advance further and further. You know, we talk about political alliances, we end up with the worst fucking president in history. We have flock cameras, surveillance state, ICE murdering people in the streets. I'm actually surprised they let you out of the state, so.
Just remember that.
So we have, in North Carolina, there was infighting too, like it happens. We're passionate. What are you going to do? So we worked together. We put aside the differences and we focused on successes. North Carolina, second state in the United States with 50,000 registered libertarians. Behind California, they have 48 million people to our 10 million. 2 cycles ago, we had 25% of all third-party state-level candidates running. We were setting records for votes. It can be done. It can be done. We just need to come together and do it, and we need a structure. People want to work for it, but people don't know what to do. So I put together a plan. How do we create an infrastructure?
2 minutes, Mr. Yates.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Again, I shall now pose questions to each of the candidates. They'll have 1 minute for response. We'll begin with Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips, I'm a professor of systems engineering at the University of Virginia, and we always talk about metrics. How would we measure success of a chair? How should we look at your administration 2 years from now if you serve as the LNC chair?
Is that me? I couldn't hear him. Yeah, if you can turn up the speaker back here, I can't even hear you down here.
I'm sorry, I'll repeat the question, sir. How would we measure success of a Libertarian Party chair? What should we look at in evaluating your administration 2 years hence if you're elected as the LNC chair?
First of all, we need to focus more on the smaller city councils, school boards. Most of the people that we've ran for Congress, Senate, President, they would be great mayors. They would be great city council meeting members, not president, not senator.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McMahon.
So I think the way that you measure the success of a chair is, what did they accomplish? Did they grow the membership? Did they raise money? On a less statistical or analytical way is, do the affiliate chairs feel like they were being supported? Did they get the resources that they need? Were they dictated to? And then as the members, do you hold your head up high, and are you going around, are you a proud libertarian, or are you embarrassed? That's one of the metrics. Are you going to be proud that you're a member of this party? Or are you going to be disappointed? That's the metric. 50 state ballot access. Did we achieve 50 state ballot access again? I think those are the ways that you measure the success of a chair. Did the chair provide the resources and support that the affiliates need to get candidates on the ballot, to win local races, to raise their profiles in districts and regions? Those are the metrics.
Thank you. Mr. Ostrowski.
Thank you, Professor, and really a great question. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not membership, although that's important. It's not fundraising, although that's important. It's not candidates, although that's important. And it's not votes, although that's important. The metric for this party is, have we increased American liberty? And if you drill down into my platform, although politics is rigged, and I'm not saying don't do politics, we have to do it differently, better, and smarter. But there's another thing called direct citizen action, which I guarantee you, if we do it, it will increase liberty because, for example, when you move from California to New Hampshire, you have increased your liberty, and you slightly increased the overall liberty in society. So I have a plan to make that happen, but along the lines of conventional politics, I'll give you one specific. Mr. Jeremy Todd is going to get a record vote for Congress from Kentucky.
Thank you.
You're predicting 4%, huh?
Mr. Benedict.
Thank you. I mailed some stuff to everybody, and I put a bunch of these flyers out. From 2010 to 2014, Libertarians racked up 109 million votes. We ran 6,253 candidates. 535 of them were winners. 8.5% of our candidates won. The average vote for Libertarians was 13.25%. The Libertarian Party is the strongest third party by far. Certainly, I want us to grow bigger and challenge the two major parties. We do that by running more candidates, by getting more folks elected, by getting higher vote percentages. We also have to do better at fundraising and membership recruitment. And I have done a lot of fundraising and a lot of membership recruitment successfully for 20 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Yates.
So I actually agree with Jim. The ultimate measure of success is the advancement of American liberty, without question. But the party exists as the political wing of the liberty movement, and we do need some metrics to track ourselves for success on that. I think we need to see defined growth in percentage of membership, fundraising. I'd like to see us bring in $100,000 a year by the end of my term, and we need to start seeing some real electoral success. We need to start taking over town councils. And then moving up, we need to start winning state houses and eventually federal races.
Thank you.
I have a quick question of all the candidates here.
Excuse me, that's not the format, please.
All right.
Mr. Kaufman.
I'll give you a metric. The Libertarian Party, keep making the case. The Libertarian Party has existed for 55 years. Here's the total number of competitive races, that is, facing a major party candidate. It's won for statewide or federal office in the entirety of its 55 years. 0. Not a single one in 55 years. Now, I've been a very successful entrepreneur. I like metrics. One of the first things I do is keep making the case, you fat, ugly faggot. Keep making the case. Keep making the case. I assume I will be given extra time since it's not possible for me to speak, moderator.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. Mr. Kaufman, thank you.
I did not get to give an answer. I can't speak when the audience is... You have to hold decorum here, sir. I can't speak. This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
This is a sham. No, this is a sham. This is a sham, sir. This is ridiculous. You have to get the audience in control, sir. I was not given a chance to give an answer.
Mr. Kaufman, please sit down.
No, you need to get the audience under control. You need to get these people under control. Keep making the case.
Would you thank you, Mr. Kaufman. Thank you. Very nicely done. Thank you. The next question. I've been involved in outreach on college campuses for 40 years now. One of the things I've noticed is we don't seem to be getting much penetration with respect to young people, particularly college students. What do you believe the Libertarian Party should do to try to increase that degree of penetration? Mr. Yates.
Yes, so I think the youth movement is absolutely critical. I published a plan, my 6 Pillars of Liberty plan. I know there are mixed feelings on Charlie Kirk and TPUSA as people, but the model that they came up with is brilliant, and I would like to see us recreate something like that.
Thank you. Mr. Kaufman.
What's the question? We're still on metrics? I get another chance?
The question, sir, was what do you believe the Libertarian Party should do to increase penetration of libertarian ideas with young people?
Talk like LPNH. We're the most successful state affiliate. Sir, you have to control the audience. This is your job, sir. If you can't do it, we're going to need another moderator. I can't speak over these people yelling. There are people here who need to be physically removed from the building. Where's security? I'm happy to remove them. Can I remove them?
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Please.
You guys,
Mr. Kaufman is...
You guys can't control yourselves. You don't even believe in the ideas of libertarianism. When I took over LPNH social media, well, actually, I started as a lowly comms intern, and we had 3,000 followers. I grew that account to over 100,000 followers. It is predominantly followed by young men under 35 years old who reply to us all the time and say, I wish libertarians were more like LPNH. I wish libertarians were more like the Free Staters in New Hampshire. Okay, the path to success is there. You say you believe in metrics? Look at them. What we do works. And it makes you so angry because you're losers.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. Mr. McMahon.
Wow. Okay. So the things that we need to do to reach out to younger voters is we need to find influencers, clipping services. We need to engage with podcasters. But we need to make sure that it's people that are actually espousing actual libertarianism and our actual ideas. We need to make sure that young people of across the spectrum feel that this is a place for them to be where individual liberty shines, and not listen to the old men who don't know how to engage with young people today. We need to bring in young people who understand the marketing, the connection, and the tools. You don't want me picking who the influencer is going to be or who's going to be on our TikTok stream. You want me as the chair to make sure that they have the resources and the funds and the tools that they need to be able to go out and do it. That's the job of the chair.
Mr. Ostrowski.
What's the number one issue in the country right now? What's the number one issue by far among young people right now? Affordability. Where is the Libertarian Party on affordability? Young people can't afford to buy a house. They can't afford to have kids. They can't afford to get married. That will be a priority issue. I'm writing a book on affordability. Government doesn't take 30% or 40%. The government takes 80% of every freaking dollar you make. And we're gonna lead with that issue, and we're gonna have an app ranking every county in the country so these young people can at least move to a slightly less expensive state. So yes, I'm gonna be all over that issue.
Mr. Phillips.
First, I want to start off by thanking Evan for endorsing my campaign like that. I've got one of the best podcasts in the world. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's pretty good. These gentlemen down the row here, they're nice guys. They are. Don't know a whole lot about them, but they have no idea what young people want. If you look at Thomas Massey's campaign, everyone from 55 on down loved him. Absolutely loved him. We need to look at what he did for this country and model that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Benedict.
Thank you. The question was, what are you going to do to help reach out to young people? So, in the late 1900s, I was at the University of Michigan working on an MBA and a Master's of Engineering in Manufacturing. And at the beginning of that school year, I was walking across the University of Michigan quad, and I ran into a gentleman, James Hudler. He's sitting right back there. He said, "Do you want to take the world's smallest political quiz?" And I was like, "Not really, but okay, I'll do it real fast." He said it'll only take a minute. I took the quiz, I took the survey. I didn't score perfectly libertarian, but I came quite close, and I got interested in what is the Libertarian Party based on that one man being out there doing a booth on campus. So I've been a big fan of the world's smallest political quiz and showing up and reaching out on campuses ever since then. That's one thing I would do to help get more young folks into the party. The same thing that worked for me. Thank you.
The next question is, what will the LNC National Office do to serve as a force multiplier for the state parties? What would you do that we're not already doing? And I'll begin, Mr. Benedict.
What would I do to help state affiliates? So, I was an executive director of the Texas Libertarians for 4 years and the national executive director as well. And we did our best to help folks. But there was one guy that complained all the time. He was from Minnesota, and he said, "Y'all aren't doing enough to help state affiliates." And he would complain and nag and say the national party's not good enough and what have you. And so what I finally did was I hired that guy. I said, "You know what? You want the national party to do a lot more to help state affiliates." I hired him and I said, "Now it's your job. So no more complaining. You get the work done." He went on to create a database that was free for all the state affiliates to use. A lot of them had complained that they had problems with databases and websites. He set up this Civi CRM. It was optional to use. A lot of states used it, and he also helped them set up websites. So I've done a lot to help state affiliates. I know how hard some of the basics, like just keeping track of your members and keeping your website up to date is, and I'll help you with that. Thank you.
Mr. Yates.
So our data should be one of our biggest assets, and it's often one of our biggest liabilities, especially for candidates. I actually agree with exactly with what Wes is saying. We need a self-hosted CRM, content management system that plays nice with other CRMs that people from the state affiliates can feed into and out of and get updated information. We need an off-the-shelf candidate packet that's customizable and easy that candidates can go and grab so they don't have to figure out all the stuff that it takes to run when they first want to start running. We need better communication channels, official channels. If you want to run for office, connect you with someone who ran for the same office in another state, treasurers, comms people, campaign managers. And we need to make sure that the resources are being allocated to state affiliates that are doing good things.
Mr. Phillips.
Can you ask the question again?
Yes, sir. What will the LNC do under your direction to help support the efforts of the state parties?
State parties need to be able to do what they want to without members from other states trying to dictate what they do. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kaufman.
The most important thing that the LNC needs to do is get out of the way. The amount of successful states, relatively speaking, because let's be honest, there's not a single successful state, but the amount of states who are having more success than others who simply get attacked by the National Committee. The National Committee has become this place for theater kids to play tug of war over the party. And in the words of the great Free Stater, Travis Corcoran, we need a final solution for theater kids in politics. So I'm going to end it. We're going to end it. It's going to be over.
Thank you. Mr. Ostrowski.
Thank you. Liberty is the greatest political idea in the history of the human race, but our strategy is not working. Our marketing is not working. And those are the things that I will address. We have a completely new strategy proposed of direct citizen action, including voting with your feet, massive withdrawal from the schools. I'm not a marketing expert. I will appoint a team of marketing to study that. We have so much talent in this party that's not being utilized, the creative people. We need a new logo. What's our logo? A chicken on a stick? You wonder why we're not winning? And we need a rural strategy, which I have already rolled out, and which will help Mr. Jeremy Todd get one of the highest vote totals for Congress from Kentucky in the Massey district, and get a little Chicago-style payback for the Libertarians.
Mr. McMahon.
So I think the first thing that the LNC and the staff in the office can do to support our affiliates is actually supporting the delegate's nominee for president. Not entering into fundraising agreements with not our nominee and not endorsing candidates from other parties. I think that would be a solid place to start. Other than that, I think we need to have a round table of state chairs to coordinate with each other to find best practices and solutions, helping our state affiliates help themselves. I want to have regional trainings brought back that are fully funded by the national party, that are chosen and selected on the topics that the regions want to hear. It's all about us helping the affiliates, not dictating things down. I don't care what CRM you use. We use Civi CRM in Indiana. It's been very successful.
Thank you. The next question is, how can the LP work with movement organizations to promote the LP, recognizing that many of our movement organizations have restrictions concerning any sort of involvement with political parties? What can we do to leverage better the movement organizations to help the Libertarian Party? Mr. Kaufman.
Movement organizations, you mean like PACs, 501c4s?
I'm sorry, movement organizations such as Cato, Reason, PACs, all sorts of organizations.
Oh, well, I wouldn't work with those guys at all. Those guys are freaks. Reason and Cato? I don't know. They're not very popular in New Hampshire. So I would stay away from those types of people. Right? Those are the types of people who took the knee for George Floyd and haven't said anything about Dalton Etherly, who's in jail right now for using his First Amendment rights and was violently assaulted. You guys are left, this entire party exists within a left-wing frame. And I'm going to end it. So I'll say one more thing. You might have a candidate on stage that you like more than me, and that's fine. But if you don't get your candidate, there's one candidate who is guaranteed to stop the other candidates from doing what you don't want. Because you're going to get nothing from me. I promise you nothing. And I'll deliver.
Mr. Ostrowski.
You know, the Libertarian movement spends like $400 or $500 million a year. And what are we getting for all that? I want to challenge these think tanks, several of which I've been affiliated with and currently. But are we really getting our money's worth out of that $500 million? Where's the strategy conference? Where's the marketing conference? I want to have an international libertarian strategy conference this year. I don't think we've ever had one in the history of the movement. And I'm talking about a dedicated strategy session. So I want to challenge these people. I also want to work with 2A. It would help to have a chair who's a 2A attorney and author working with trying to take a leadership role in this right to bear arms, our most important right. It's our most important issue. So I will reach out to those gun groups successfully, I believe.
Mr. Benedict.
So working with other organizations, when you're a Libertarian Party candidate, you've got enough on your plate to go knocking on doors, fill out campaign finance reports, organize volunteers, and go door to door. You don't have time to do a whole lot of complicated research on issues, but that's where we can rely on the publications from organizations like Reason or Cato or Marijuana Policy Project or what have you. They do research and publish it. As a Libertarian candidate, we can rely on that as the backup and the foundation for our campaigns and our policies. Now, my day job, I'm vice president of an advocacy group in Texas, and I'm a registered lobbyist. I've met with all 181 legislative offices in Texas multiple times in the past year and a half. I worked with all the major advocacy organizations in Texas, and we got 4 bills passed that reduce zoning to make free market solutions work. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Phillips.
There's 2 organizations that I know that actually do on-the-ground work, and it's You Are the Power and Defend the Guard. All the other ones, they just talk and don't do anything. We need to get away from all the do-nothings, ignore them, and advocate the ones that actually do on-the-ground work.
Mr. McMahon.
So I think we need to partner with organizations like Cato, Reason, Fee, Ed Choice to take the literature and resources that they already have. This is my turn, thank you. To use the resources, information they've put out. Our candidates in county parties in Indiana have copies of iPencil and Economics in One Lesson that they can distribute. Like Mr. Benedict said, get familiar with that information. But one of the other things that we need to do is not just be within the movement. We need to be working with single issue coalitions that we can work with. I can disagree with you about everything else, but if we can agree on this one issue, let's tackle that together. That's how we fight back.
Mr. Yates.
Like 6 years ago, there was a homeless veteran, Joshua Rohrer, who was tased and arrested by police, and his service dog killed as a result. And You Are the Power came and got involved, and the LPNC was there hand in hand. We didn't need to put our logo on it. We just showed up together. It's been a 5-year fight. We finally got the body camera footage released. Qualified immunity was denied, and the case is going to federal court, which is amazing. Thank you. Yeah, that one's worth an applause. The LNC should not be an activist organization. We'd be spread too thin, but we need to find groups where we can get our people training and working in these groups, getting the experience, and moving liberty forward.
What do you see as the biggest issue where the Libertarian Party can get real wins over the next 2 years under the Libertarian National Committee's leadership with respect to marketing and outreach? And we'll begin, Mr. Yates.
So my background is in marketing, 25 years, and I put a whole plan together on this, and I got a whole lot of tears to it. But I'll tell you, it's to the point where it's not where we can get the biggest win, it's where we need to, and it's the surveillance state. We got flock cameras going up everywhere, Palantir and ICE getting contracts with Ring cameras, they're tracking your every move. The Senate wouldn't take up the last reconciliation bill because it wouldn't eliminate CBDCs. They want control from the top down, and that's the hill we have to die on.
Mr. McMahon.
I agree. I think it's the surveillance state. With flock cameras, with Palantir partnering together, our government agencies are violating our Fourth Amendment rights by buying the data from other corporations. It's something that everybody's talking about, and you hear across the country that counties are finally rejecting these contracts. The problem is just because those contracts end with flock doesn't mean the cameras go away and the data doesn't go away. It just means that you're not paying for it as a taxpayer. And I think that that's going to be a major issue and something that we need to tackle head on.
Mr. Benedict.
So libertarians, we're the party of smaller government or no government. That's not what Republicans and Democrats are delivering. People are more disgusted with the Republican leadership and the president and the former Democratic leadership and president than ever before. There's a great opportunity for libertarians. The country and the world needs the policies that libertarians offer. We are for freedom on every issue. Lower taxes, smaller government, mind our own business, stay out of foreign wars, freedom on every issue. Thank you.
Mr. Phillips.
I'm glad you brought that up, Wes, because I think our policies are our main doublehead, because you mentioned the one that everyone loves, but it's the policies, the abortion policy to have, the gay rights policies we'd have. Those are the ones that hold us back. Those are the ones I have to constantly defend. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Nobody fucking cares what you have to say. If you wanted to be up here, you should have been up here. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Mr. Kaufman.
Well, first, I'll remind the audience that Palantir will be processing all of this footage. And Peter Thiel and I will sit down personally and be reviewing you and whether you're fit for New Hampshire. That's right. That's all getting recorded, and we're going to look at that later. I've been more successful at growing something from nothing or very small to something very large. More successful at that than anyone on this stage, not just with LP&H, but with multiple businesses. Do you know how many women I've heard say that who then fucked me? The point is, when you start, sir, you got to control the audience. These people have to be, why are we not engaging in the libertarian practice of physical removal of the unfit and those who can't control themselves? Anyway, the path from small to big is not doing what the big people say. You don't exist in the mainstream, in the progressive stream. You say the true things that other people won't say, and that's how you get started from something small to something big.
Thank you. Mr. Ostrowski.
I actually have 3 issues: affordability, affordability, and affordability. Young people cannot afford to get married, have kids, or buy homes. Without children, there's no future. Do the math. That's the issue. Government takes 80%. I wish the think tanks had come up with that stat, but they didn't, so I had to do it myself. And we're going to test market government takes 80%, vote Libertarian, for Jeremy Todd's election for Congress in Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you. We shall now have closing statements from each of the candidates, and we'll simply go down the line, starting with Mr. Phillips.
I had one question for the other candidates first. How much did you spend on this campaign? This is a volunteer position, and people are spending a lot of money to get a chair position, to get paid nothing. That's all I have to say on that part. I do have to say that our policy is, again, our worst problem. If it's controversial to one side or controversial to the other side, it should not be in our policies. The only thing that should be in our policy is freedom of speech, freedom of association. Thank you.
Mr. McMahon.
My name's Evan McMahon. I hope I can earn your vote for chair. If you want to come up and talk to me, please feel free to. I want you to be proud. I want us to have great slates of candidates. I want us to have all of the things. I want us to change the policies so that the next generation is freer. But that starts at membership. That starts by having an LNC that functions well and isn't embarrassing or alienating us from other people. So let's be proud libertarians again. Thank you.
Mr. Kaufman.
Well, first I'll remind you that a positive vote for me for chair, or vote for me for chair, will be a positive mark on your record in terms of whether you're fit to live in New Hampshire. Again, all this is being recorded. You're making the case. So, the Libertarian Party has done nothing but fail. The Libertarian Party has done nothing but stand in the way of the libertarian movement. We know what works to achieve liberty. We do it in New Hampshire all the time. We win every day. I wake up every day with a spring in my step because I'm winning in New Hampshire, okay? And the part of the reason you guys have become so bitter and so angry is because you've been losing your entire lives, and it's wrecked your souls. So vote for me if you recognize the problem. Put me at second if you don't want someone else in charge, because I promise to do nothing, and I will deliver.
Mr. Ostrowski.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hearing us out. In this campaign, and really today on the stage, I've presented a positive vision for how to make the Libertarian Party a player in American life. Not just American politics, in American life. We need a new strategy of direct citizen action. We need new marketing. We need an international strategy conference. We need a new logo, for Pete's sake. So I have a positive vision for how to win. I have beaten the Republican Party in the real world on their own battlefields. I have beaten the Democratic Party in the real world on their own battlefield. I know how to do it. So my final message is, I'm going to paraphrase the Bible, where there is no vision, the party perishes.
Mr. Benedict.
Thank you all for coming here today. If this is your first convention, I hope you're having a good time and find it entertaining. I worked 8 years as a national executive director. I served under 4 different national chairmen, and so I understand what the job is. I like to think that because I was a fairly good executive director, the job of the chairman wasn't too hard. Now, they might disagree with me occasionally when I say that. I'm running because I want the party to do well. We need a successful Libertarian Party. When I was there and when I left in 2018, we had 14 members on staff. We routinely raised well over $1 million. One time we raised over $2 million. We had a store that shipped over 1 million items for our 2016 candidate for president and had over $300,000 in revenue at that store because I insisted we price things cheaply. Thank you.
Mr. Yates.
So thank you all again for being here. Rob Yates. Hope I've earned your vote. I know that most people have probably made up their minds or have some leanings, but the fact is, no matter who you elect to chair or to the next LNC, we're not going to change the world. That's up to you and everyone out there in the liberty movement, but what we can do is give you the infrastructure, the tools, and the resources to go out and be successful doing it. I've done it professionally, I've done it politically, and now I'm trying to help you all do it. Come talk to me. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding these gentlemen. The position of chair is a difficult one. They deserve great credit for stepping up to the plate to seek the position. Thank you.
Jeremy Todd from Kentucky, could you please report to the podium? Folks, we're going to go right to a speaker. If you could hang on just for about a couple minutes.
We got a breakout, or we got a speaker?
Hey guys, how long do we have before we're going to come to order?
We have a speaker, we have a speaker, and we have a
Okay, so I have time to like relax a little bit and set up. I'm not like, I don't have to come out in 5 minutes. Okay, good, because I was like, we're going to be late. Okay.
So it's 10:49, so we'll probably start business again about a minute.
waiting here now, and the credentials, they're just gonna fucking come in and recess.
We have a speaker.
It's like 20, 30 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah, you probably. I would say 15, maybe 20. 15. Do 15 more minutes.
Of what?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, credentials is going to be open for another 15 minutes. We have a speaker coming up, and then we're going to gavel in.
About. Folks, if I could have your attention, please. Folks, have a seat. We've got an honored guest. We're just going to ask for your attention here. If criminal justice reform is part of your libertarian life, I got your attention, huh? No, he did. He's much better at it. So, folks, as I said, if criminal justice reform, real reform, imagine a world where an individual sees a problem, sees a fundamental flaw, a broken criminal justice system, or as we like to say in Rhode Island, in the halls of justice, justice is usually found in the halls. Imagine then someone who's actually taken that mission personally and has enacted significant legislation in 14 states in just a handful of years. This is important. And true to our tradition of having our special guests introduced by folks who are either established officers, office holders, or folks running for office, I'd like to introduce Jeremy Todd. He's running for Kentucky's 4th Congressional District. Please give our candidates a round of applause. The most patriotic thing you can do in America, I believe, short of defending our nation, is actually running for office. Jeremy?
Thank you, Pat. Good morning. Like Pat said, my name is Jeremy Todd. I am running for the Congressional District in Kentucky's 4th. Thank you. You may be familiar with it. About me, I'm just a guy. I'm a son, a husband, a dad, a Christian. I work a 9 to 5 every single day. But like a lot of you and tens of thousands of Kentuckians right now, we are pissed, okay? Tuesday was a tipping point in American history. In the words of Thomas Massey, I rise today to ensure that our republic does not die by unanimous consent in an empty chamber. There will be a recorded vote. I need your help. On my website, www.jeremy-todd.com, you can help contribute. Help me. We still need some signatures to get on the ballot. People are back in Kentucky working hard doing that. I've been asked, why am I willing to do this? It's my son. He's still small. But in a few years, he's going to hear about what happened in 2026. And he's going to ask me, didn't we live here? Weren't we here? What did we do in that moment? And the only acceptable response to my son will be everything that we could. I can't possibly think of a better embodiment of that spirit than Lynn Albert. Lynn is a prominent criminal justice reform advocate and the founder of Free Ross, which sought clemency for her son. What's that? Oh, I'm introducing Sheena? Oh, I don't know about Sheena. I'm sorry. Sheena. What's... I'm so sorry. Well, a little mix up there. Sheena is going to be amazing, and I am going to let Sheena introduce herself. So, Sheena, come on up.
I want you to think about all the second chances that you've received. I know for me, it enabled me to be able to turn my pain into purpose. It enabled me to be able to walk into a room and feel seen, not as damaged goods, but as untapped potential. That is the power of a second chance. That is the power of a clean slate.
It was in 2004. It was right after the hurricane had hit Florida, back to back, and I was living paycheck to paycheck. I had 4 kids at the time. I was a single mom. Wrote the check for a little bit over the amount, and it got returned to the bank. And 2 months later, I had 2 cops knocking at my door.
That arrest and that conviction, it remained on my record. And at that moment, I realized that my true sentence had just begun, because you know what? I was no longer allowed to volunteer at my children's school. I could no longer rent where I want to rent, because it is legal for landlords to discriminate against a person with a record. I even faced barriers trying to go to college.
And I just want to kind of tell you, like, those things did not hold me back. Those denials did not determine my destiny.
Because I am the proud CEO of the Clean Slate Initiative. We're on a pathway to make automatic record clearance a reality. That's millions of people who no longer have to walk around with stigma and shame attached to their name. Clean Slate confronts injustice head on. Affirm this simple truth. Real safety and opportunity come from dignity, inclusion, and second chances.
Yesterday, and I brought this pen with me, the governor has signed the bill, and with a stroke of a pen, we saw 2.3 million people, lives change. Access to housing, access to jobs, barriers removed, opportunities unlocked.
Today we're celebrating just not a moment, but a milestone. More than 150,000 people now had their arrest and conviction records erased through Connecticut's Clean Slate law. Those are our neighbors, parents, workers, and community members who now have a real chance to move forward, and that's powerful. Clean Slate is a generational movement. And with over 2 million people in Illinois impacted, this law will ripple across families and communities for generations.
So I speak to all the employers today, to all the colleges and universities, and to landlords of Michigan. We have removed the red tape for the people who are eligible to get their record cleared, who have paid their debt to society and remain crime-free. And we're asking you to welcome them back into their arms.
I'm still working and not stopping until we get all 50 states on a pathway for record clearance, and that's including Florida.
And I want to tell y'all to stay encouraged, keep advocating, keep making sure that your voices are heard at the Capitol, even when you go back. Make those phone calls.
We're working with partners. We're bridging gaps, bridging grass tops or grassroots.
That's why it's so important for me to lead this type of work. That's why it's so important for me to talk to people, no matter what side of the aisle they're in. I always say I go from the trap house to the White House to talk to people about this issue, because it's important. It's people over politics.
Continue to plant seeds. Do not get discouraged. You are planting seeds that will root, and you will see the manifestation and the harvest of your work. I just challenge y'all to do that. For yourselves, for your community, for your kids, and for the generations ahead of us.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy y'all still came here, because I went to karaoke with y'all last night, and y'all was partying late. And y'all had me so motivated, I tried to sign up to do karaoke, but it was like 2 pages, and I had to go to bed to be fresh this morning. I really appreciate being here. My name is Sheena Mead. I love to always address the elephant in the room. I look out in this beautiful crowd. I look at myself. Yes, I am the only person here with a mohawk. So we could get that out the way. Keep it going. So, I have one thing I do want to start this out with being a really important question as I give my talk. One of the most important questions in a free society: are people ever truly allowed to move forward after they pay their debt to society? Or has punishment become permanent in the United States? I'm the proud CEO of the Clean Slate Initiative. We're national organization, and I reside in the great state of Florida. Shout out to my Florida delegation over there. The Sunshine State. People like to joke, I don't know if I should do this joke since we're streaming, but you come to Florida on vacation, you may leave on probation. But we're working on a clean slate, so just don't have too much fun if you come to Florida. At CSI, we work to remove barriers that continue to, for folks, remove barriers that people have long after they complete their sentence. Now, in this country, our country, supposedly the land of the free, there are 70 to 100 million people who have an arrest or conviction on their record. I'm gonna let that number sit with you. I'm gonna actually let that number get a little bit more personal with you. That's 1 in 3 Americans. So I want you to pause, don't look at me, look at your neighbor, and look around the room. 1 in 3. I'm not gonna ask anybody to tell their story or admit to anything today, but the numbers don't lie. And many people who have completed their sentence remain crime-free for years, but yet old records keep them out of opportunities. Because 94% of employers, 90% of landlords, and 72% of colleges and universities use background checks to screen out applicants. Now, this is the thing that kind of keeps me up at night. I told you there's 70 to 100 million people who have a record. 30 million people today are eligible to get their record cleared. Because in America, across the United States, just about every state has laws on the books that says once you remain crime-free for certain offenses, you are eligible to petition to get your record cleared. This is the kicker. Less than 10% of people out there, 30 million, actually do it. You may ask why. One, I heard somebody say money. I like this crowd. You talk back, you know. I grew up in black church, so I like a talk back crowd. I got you, girl. I got you. Yes, money is bureaucratic. There's a lot of red tape. People have to take off time from work. You have to file a lot of paperwork. And if your crime was being poor, you probably will never get your record cleared. And that's not right. But I did not come all the way to Grand Rapids to give y'all bad news. I got some good news. Oh, let me go back before we start a number. Someone said, wow, this is going to be a wow moment. Hold up. So far, clean slate in the last 6 years, we've been able to pass to date automatic record clearance, removing the burden from the person who made the mistake back to the government who traps them in that mistake. We've been able to pass clean slate in 13 states and D.C., with Missouri on the way that's on the desk of the governor, will be the 14th state. Where's Missouri at out here? Where's the Missouri delegation? It's on, listen, it's on his desk. Please make sure that he signs it. But right now, we've created a pathway for over 18 million people to get full or partial record sealing across the country. This bipartisan work has been critical. That includes lawmakers. One of our champions, Senator Rand Paul, serving as a co-sponsor of our federal Clean Slate Act, because many Americans, this issue comes down to simple principle. Punishment should not be forever. Many people in this room, amen, many people in this room have spent years advocating for limits on government, overreach, and excessive intrusion into people's lives, which I'd be remiss if I don't shout out some of the partners who helped me in Florida before I got on the Clean Slate journey. In 2018 in Florida, my husband and I passed a constitutional amendment, the People's Constitution, that restored voting rights to 1.4 million people with felony convictions that was barred out of voting. And the reason why, when Pat invited me, I was so excited to come, is because during that campaign, it was the libertarian community that stood by us and said that government should not be putting a lifetime punishment on people's voting rights. And it was the Koch brothers, it was American for Prosperity. I got to meet Sarah today. She's somewhere in the room who worked on that initiative. So I'm happy that I'm here. But Clean Slate raises a similar question. Should the system continue limiting someone's future forever after they completed their sentence and remain crime-free? No. I want to just give you a short story and then maybe tell you a little bit of my story. In that video, when I was in Connecticut, I was there to celebrate with the advocates who've been pushing Clean Slate for the last few years, and it was a lady who was getting her record cleared. And she was so excited. She said after years, I think 18 years of waiting to get a second chance, she finally was able to get her record clearance. She got on the mic and started talking about her story. And she talked about how the advocate said, Miss Smith, just wait. You know, because she was trying to get a pardon. They said, just wait, clean slate is on the way. And she said, people don't understand the weight of having to wait when you have a record. And what she did not know that day is that I do know the weight of having a record. Because in 2004, living in Florida, dealing with them hurricanes back to back, you know, I was a single mom at the time, 4 kids, I was living on government housing, I was trying to get my life together, paycheck to paycheck, and I did something that we've all have done. I don't know, this room looks a little seasoned like myself, so before TAP and Bitcoin and Apple Pay, we had a thing called checks. Anybody in here remember a thing called checks? It's kind of dinosaurs, okay. Y'all look like you're a group that got your bills together, so you may haven't dealt with this situation, but I was like really broke. I was like the broke where I had enough gas in the car, but I didn't have insurance in the car. But I wrote a check so I could feed my family. I had a little knee baby that I see in the front, just like that. And I wrote the check over the amount. You remember back in the day, we wrote the check over the amount to get cash back? And I was really working on faith. Faith that that check would get delivered when my direct deposit got delivered. Somebody remembers that life too. But it didn't happen. That check went through, that check bounced, that check returned. 2 months later, I had two knocks at the door. It was 2 police officers. They came to arrest me for passing a worthless check. In the state of Florida, anything under $150, an instrument is a worthless check. I went to jail. I had a $500 bill for that $87.26 check. I thought then that my sentence was over. I got over it. I thought it was done, but yet I was met at school with my children, could not volunteer when I wanted to volunteer, rent what I wanted to rent, or be able to even pursue my education without being asked a question. So the real question is, at what point does accountability end and permanent punishment begin? Now you may say maybe you may feel like this is a you problem, Sheena. It's not, it's a us problem. Why? We got research that we just brought out that reveals that people with an arrest or a conviction experience a combined $440 billion in annual income loss. That's $1.2 billion a day, $11,000 per second for my math whiz. Chat told me that. I didn't make that up. That's workers, entrepreneurs, economic participation, and families trying to move forward. And some of the hardest costs to measure that not only things that I talked about is missing opportunities with your children, housing instability, loss of confidence, and feeling permanently defined by your past. And public safety matters, accountability matters, but stable work and housing and an opportunity to matter too. So if we want people to successfully move forward and contribute to the communities, we have to give people a second chance. I'm going to close with this. Your story may not be my story, but each person in here has asked for a second chance, one time or another in your life, whether it was from your children, whether it was from your family, even in school, your spouse, your workplace. We all want a second chance. I recently became a grandma. I call myself a glamma. Glamma. And I got a beautiful grandson named Kasai. And what I feel like this is my second chance, because when I became a young parent, I didn't get no book, so this is my second chance. And I'm excited, and I hope that by the time Kasai is 5 years old, he's 7 months now, that we will have passed clean slate in half the country. 24 million people have a second chance. I'm gonna leave this hope for the future that freedom includes ability to move forward after accountability. Punishment should be proportional. Second chances should be real. One mistake should not permanently define a person's future. Then maybe even 2 mistakes should not define a person's future. And if this issue resonates with you, I want you to stay connected. Sorry. Oh, I was forgetting the slides. I got so caught up with y'all, but y'all can see. Here you go, the beautiful slides my team made. If this issue resonates with you, I would love to see you all be a part of the work that we're doing. Your voices matter. You have been a party that believes in government not holding people for a lifetime punishment. You believe in liberty. You believe in second chances. And I am actually doing a call of action, asking across this room that in every state, that y'all adopt this policy, that y'all be at the forefront. I know the work that you do. I know that your voices matter in this work. And I'd love for you to be a part of the Clean Slate Initiative. And so if you want to stay connected, you don't got to take a picture of me when you pull out your phones, but if you could take the barcode scan. And for the folks who don't do the tech, we have a table outside. And please come get some handouts. But Clean Slate can't wait. That is a slogan and a thing that we say across the country. Now, earlier, I heard a lot of chickens squawking in here and a little rumbling. So I know y'all like to make a little noise. Y'all like to make a little noise? Oh, there you go. So I'm an organizer from the South. And we got a chant that says, Clean Slate can't wait. So when I say clean slate, y'all gonna say, y'all gonna do better on the second one. Ready? Clean slate? Can't wait. I wanna hear some of those squeaky things because I was really intrigued in the back with that. Clean slate? Can't wait. Thank y'all. Y'all be blessed. Thank you so much.
As they'll say in Vegas, our next speaker needs no introduction. There was a time, not so long ago, when there was a moment of unity in the libertarian movement. We laughed, we cheered, we cried. It was a culmination of years of effort. So introducing our next guest, and by the way, we want to firmly reestablish a tradition at conventions where candidates for office and elected officials introduce our guests. So you get a chance to meet them, to know them, and please reach out to support them. Introducing our next guest is Tanner Lopez. He is a U.S. House of Representatives candidate for Virginia's 7th District. Thank you.
Good afternoon, fellow libertarians. It's an honor to stand before you to introduce our next speaker. But before that, I will deliver an important message. I am Tanner Lopez, and I'm running as a libertarian candidate. And I have placed my business card on the tables with the QR code if you want to support my campaign. Now, I'm delivering this message while our republic is under occupation. And I mean every single word. Do you approve what happened to Thomas Massey? It will happen again. An Israel lobby poured millions of dollars into defeating him, and 95% of our Congress members received their money. Foreign occupation in our Congress is not a theory. Now, we want to work for America and Americans only. And we are right in many things, but being right has never been enough. We spent too long speaking truth without a clear, unifying national message. But this time is different. And this message is not something we are inventing. It arises from the urgent necessities of our times. We all face one central challenge that connects all of our work: foreign lobbies. Particularly AIPAC and those with ties to Israel have outrageous influence over American politics. They do not merely shape our foreign policy. They touch every single issue we care about and divert our resources away from us. Our taxes and military must solely exist to protect American borders, American lives, American freedom, and American prosperity. Yet today, while our taxes provide free education and health care there and in other countries, American families are struggling to afford basic needs. This must stop. This is why we launched the Re-Independence movement. It is the unifying banner that connects all our local effort into one clear national purpose. We must stand together as the only unbought independent party and fulfill our duty to liberate our nation from the chains of undue foreign control and influence. We have a profound debt to those who founded this nation and to the millions who gave their lives, and we must restore our sovereignty. This is not optional. Fellow libertarians, there is a reason we have all been brought here today. Today we are taking our country back. God bless you, and God bless the re-independent United States of America. Now I have the honor to introduce Ms. Lynn Ulbricht, who is a prominent criminal justice reform advocate. And the founder of the Free Ross campaign, which sought clemency for her son, Ross Ulbricht, the creator of the Silk Road Marketplace. Since her son's arrest in 2013, Ulbricht has become a leading voice in the liberty community on issues related to sentencing reform, government overreach, and digital freedom. Through years of public speaking, media appearances, and grassroots organizing, Ulbricht helped build a broad coalition advocating for clemency and criminal justice reform. Her work has brought national attention to concerns about proportional sentencing, due process, and the expanding power of federal prosecution in the digital age. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Lynn Ulbricht.
It is so great to be here with you all so that I can say to all of you, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful for this. This was taken a couple of days after Ross walked out of that prison for the first time in almost 12 years. This was a miracle, and you helped a miracle happen. Without the Libertarian Party and your support, I don't think that would have been a reality, that picture. Thank you. The Libertarian Party stood with us for a long time. So in 2018, at your convention, the party formally adopted a resolution to grant Ross a full and unconditional pardon unanimously. I didn't know libertarians did anything unanimously. Yeah, I remember watching the video, and Nick Sarwark called for a vote. And when he voted for everybody who says yay, the place exploded in cheers and roar of yay. And then when he said, and everybody who votes nay, you could have heard a pin drop in that room. And then the moment I saw that, I thought, wow, I'm not alone here. I'm not a lone voice. I have the third largest national party behind me, and that just uplifted me tremendously. And then 6 years later, at the 2024 convention, under the leadership of Angela McArdle, Trump walked on the stage of the convention and pledged to free Ross. He pledged to free Ross if he were elected day one. Later, I was able to meet him, and he said, it's a horrible sentence. I'm going to do it. He said, it might not be day one. I got a lot to do that day. I got a lot to do. And I'm like, no problem, great. He did it within the first 24 hours. So, it's a day. And the following January, Ross walked free, and that picture was taken. This was a victory not only for Ross and our family, but for liberty and for the Libertarian Party. It was a victory for freedom and the libertarian philosophy. I know that because the judge, Judge Catherine Forrest, thankfully no longer a judge, forbade Ross's libertarian philosophy to be mentioned at trial. Later, at the sentencing, she said the following. Whoops, I forgot to show Donald Trump's picture. And no, because all those signs that were they were in every picture, in every major magazine, newspaper, internet, everything. Free Ross was right in front of him. But here's the judge, and this is what she said at the sentencing. It is notable that the reasons you started Silk Road were philosophical, and she got that right, and I don't know that it is a philosophy left behind. She called it a dangerous philosophy, and of course, it's the philosophy that most everyone here believes in. It's libertarian, freedom. The site was based on the non-aggression principle, that if you want to trade and buy and sell with someone else, as long as it doesn't hurt a third party, you should be free to do so. But that judge apparently doesn't believe in the First Amendment, that you're not allowed to have a philosophy, and that you need to be put away for the rest of your life. It was a double life plus 40-year sentence without parole, so that no one would be in danger of hearing this very threatening philosophy. And the fight isn't over, because Ross is out, thank God, just to all of you, the victory was for all of us, but it's not over. There are thousands of people throughout the country who are sitting in cages right now. Ross said he's met many, many people over the years that he was in prison. And he said easily half, if not more, do not belong in there. They could be safely released to go back to their families and their communities. They shouldn't be in there, and he knows that firsthand. Here he is with, he put together this photo of some of his fellow prisoners. They're all nonviolent drug offenders serving life. Life in prison. Thankfully, some are out now. One was commuted by President Trump. A couple of others got out under the First Step Act, also thanks to President Trump. But some are still in there. They're still sitting in that cage. Sean is on the top left. I've talked to his sister at length. I've met his daughter and his sister. Ross says he's a good man. He's in there serving life for a user amount of meth in his pocket. That was his third strike under the horrible Third Strike Act. Thank you, President Clinton. And Ross says he's a good guy. He's a gentle guy. He's still in there. Jose, kneeling at bottom right, Ross said is the sweetest, most gentle guy he's ever met. He's in there for residue on a dollar bill. That's his third strike. This isn't right. This is absolutely, it's actually against the law. According to our 8th Amendment of the Constitution, cruel and unusual punishment is prohibited. And yet, here we are. And there are thousands more of these cases. There's the crypto prisoners that were featured at an event on Thursday night here that Angela put on, because she's still fighting for people in prison that don't belong there. And thank you for that. And they're sitting in there. They're peaceful people who are very smart. They've come up with different ideas about cryptocurrency, but they're after them just like they were after Ross because of Bitcoin. That was the reason. And same with these guys. So they're sitting in cages right now. And one of their wives is here, fighting for her husband. Approximately 3,000 nonviolent people are serving long sentences or life for cannabis. Unbelievable. How can this be true? So, I can't forget about them. I keep thinking about them in there. Some of them I know, some of them I've heard about. Horrible cases. And so I started a nonprofit called Mothers Against Cruel Sentencing. You don't have to be a mother to be involved, by the way. And, or MAX for short. And my goal is to shine a light on this because I don't think it's talked about enough, and hopefully bring some political pressure to change this. Ross says that we need prisons to protect us. There are people he has met in there, and other prisoners that I know have said the same, that they may someday be able to be let out, but some of them are dangerous people. But more than half the people are not. This isn't right. So Ross's freedom proves that libertarians are strong. The unheard of, no one believed that Ross would be freed. 0% chance. But you did it. And now, you did it. So we've proven we can have impact. There are politicians, met one here, who wants our support. It means something. This can be put to bear to help people. We can still create miracles. So please join me and help me get some more people out of the cages and out into the light of freedom. Thank you.
Is Mr. Malman here? Okay. All right. It is 11:30 a.m. I'm going to call this meeting to order. I ask the Credentials Committee Chair to be recognized and give his supplementary credentials report.
This is personal privilege. This is thanks.
Okay.
All right. For the Credentials Committee, at 11:30 a.m., Saturday, May 23rd, we currently have 604 primary delegates, 16 alternates. A majority, therefore, is 303. 2/3 is 403. 3/4 is 453. 7/8 is 529. And my quorum number got cut off, which is inconvenient. One moment. There we go. 242. Everybody got that? Good deal. Thanks.
Personal privilege on 2.
Personal privilege, Mike 2.
Thank you. Mark Axon from New York, and for 35 years from the Libertarian wing of the Libertarian Party. I've been blessed over that time to know Jim
I'm sorry,
Locke.
sir. What is your point of personal privilege?
I wish to extend the thanks from me, and I hope the entire body, to Dr. Locke for moderating today.
Thank
and
you
to
very
Pat
much, but this is
Nixon
not a point of
and the
personal privilege, sir.
LP
We have to
and-
get to business. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there a Ray Walden the fourth?
Right here, Mr.
You're recognized,
Mr.
sir.
I would like to add to the Illinois delegation Dan Lewis, who is also an Illinois member in good standing.
All right, that's a motion. Sounds like 20 seconds. All right.
Thank
So
you, sir.
there's going to be a motion to add the gentleman to the Illinois delegation. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, move on to a vote. I believe it's 2/3. All in favor, please raise your token. Put them down. All opposed? Motion carries. Is there somebody representing a Dan Lewis? Oh, that was Dan Lewis. Got it. Okay. All right. Any discussion on the Credentials Committee report? Is there?
Mr. Chair, microphone 1.
Microphone 1.
Jeff Coleman, Missouri delegate, second time, long time, with a request or motion to add a delegate to Missouri's delegation.
Name of the delegate? Do you wish to add?
Asher Bookestein from Michigan.
Okay.
He's a member of Students for Liberty. And he is part of the generation that will continue to grow this movement well into the future.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Any objection? All in favor, please raise. You have a discussion?
Yeah.
The Michigan
objection.
delegation isn't even clear if he's a member.
There was the.
Mike Saliba, Michigan, by the way. I have the card. I can show somebody the card.
Come on up. I want you to speak with our Credentials Committee chair before we proceed. This guy, he wants to be a delegate in Michigan.
We were informed that the membership just expired.
Can Mike Saliba come up?
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, Missouri does not require Michigan membership for a delegate to be added to Missouri's delegation.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it with the body then. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Microphone 2.
Andrew Duke from Michigan. Asher, I'm speaking in favor of him for Missouri. He is from the Southwest/West affiliate. He has a home, lives, families in Southwest, but goes to school here in the West affiliate. So I'm just speaking in favor of him. I do not know about his membership status.
Thank you, sir. One more time, the gentleman that made the motion on behalf of the delegate, can you please restate your name and state, and clearly restate the delegate's name?
My name is Jeff Coleman, Missouri delegate, and the delegate in question is Asher Bookestein. And I'm going to correct the spelling of my name. It's Coleman with a C and an E in the middle. And Asher's name is spelled Boekestein.
All right, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor, please raise your token. Put them down. All opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Microphone 3.
Aloha, Mr. Chair. Austin Martin, Libertarian Party of Hawaii Chairman. I'd like to move to add Mr. Leighton Radner. I got your name right, buddy? He's on the Alaska delegation as an alt, and as a fellow non-contiguous U.S. state far from the mainland, we appreciate Alaska big time, and we would love to get this guy on in our delegation for Hawaii to make use of our slots. So we appreciate the body's willingness. And Mr. Chair, if you'll entertain a brief point of personal privilege.
Go ahead.
Where's the coffee?
What are you looking for?
I need coffee, man.
Coffee, back in the lobby, they're telling you.
I mean, we should have like a coffee service. Like, let's fundraise for this. Let's make this happen. Coffee. I love you guys. Coffee. Okay, much love.
There might be coffee outside, I'm told. Oh, there you go, Mr. Starr with the coffee. Or we can all take Alvin Zoom on 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you repeat the delegate's name in question? Who's being proposed to be seated in Hawaii? Austin, bring your coffee pot up. And what is the delegate's name, slowly?
Leighton, Leighton. Is that right? Radner. Radner. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you.
Any discussion? First off, is this seconded? Any discussion on the amendment?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Ms. Harlos.
It's on this amendment, but it's more broadly on all of them. Each state has procedures for adding to their delegation, and it seems that question hasn't been addressed when people are moving to add, that they've followed their own state procedures. Like, for instance, in Colorado, the delegation can vote to add someone. But it seems like right now someone could just get up and vote to add something to Colorado, and we haven't followed Colorado's bylaws. I'm using us as an example because I'm not singling out any state here. But that should be a question that should be answered when people are added. Were they properly added per that state's bylaws? Otherwise, we have the convention overruling that.
Do you have any?
Dan Lewis, Mike 2, I just want to confirm that my
Hold on one
state
second. You're not
delegation did
recognized.
vote for
Hold
me.
on one second. Hold on. I think that's something the body should be asking the bylaws committee, or excuse me, the credentials committee, because I don't have that information on the fly.
Mr.
So this is going to come up during
Mr. Chair,
debate.
Mike 2.
Go ahead. Your name and state.
Dan Lewis, Illinois. I just want to confirm with Karen, I did get voted on by my state delegation.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And Mr. Chair, if I may,
Mr. Martin.
I would also confirm that this would conform with our bylaws and process for selecting delegates.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. If there's no further discussion on this amendment, then we'll go ahead and move to a vote. All in favor of the amendment, please raise your token. Put them down. All opposed? Motion carries. Is microphone 1 looking to be microphone 2? Is this for the credentials committee?
Just point of order.
Point of order, sir.
Yeah,
Name and state.
Matthew Pranger, Indiana, serving Libertarian. The file name's incorrect.
I'm sorry?
The file name's incorrect. It's not day 1 anymore.
Thank you. All right, if there's no further discussion on credentials, we are going to move to a vote of the Supplementary Credentials Committee report. All in favor, please raise your token. Put them down. All opposed? All right, we have a Credentials Committee report. So we will be moving on to item proposal number 9, which was postponed in, is it 8? Is it 8?
Mr. Chair?
It is 9. I am sure.
Mr. Chair, microphone 1.
8 failed.
Hold on one second. I'm going to go ahead and recognize Mr. Starr, microphone 3 first.
Yes, I worked on this last night with some others to come up with a proposal I think will get 2/3 support. I gave it to Evan McMahon by email. I don't know if he can bring that up on screen, but when he does, I'd like to make the motion, basically a substitute motion, an amendment in the form of a substitute motion to accomplish what the Bylaws Committee tried to accomplish yesterday. That's not it. Scroll down, please. So basically, here's the proposal. Basically, we're just adding on to Article 9, Finance and Accounting, the following. Number 7, no payment shall be made to a member of the National Committee, a family member, or romantic partner, or entity in which any of the foregoing has a financial interest, unless conflicts of interest have been disclosed in advance, and the payment is approved by a 2/3 vote of the disinterested members of the National Committee. On any vote impacting a conflicted member, that conflicted member shall recuse from participation in the vote. Any agreement to pay a member who did not disclose a conflict of interest in advance shall be void. Number 8, reasonable expenses to perform an official duty shall not be reimbursed unless first evidenced by receipts provided to the National Committee prior to reimbursement. And number 9, party staff, funds, and other property shall not be used to favor or disfavor a candidate for internal party office or a candidate for president or vice president prior to nomination. I ask that this substitute a motion amendment be made for your consideration.
All right, we have a second. We're now into discussion.
Point of information, Mr. Chair.
Point of information.
Would it be in order to offer an amendment on this at this point?
I think I should speak in favor of my motion first.
Yes, let me give Aaron Starr, and then I'll get back to you on that. Mr. Starr.
So yesterday, some of the argument against the proposal was that it was way too restrictive. We have situations where members of the LNC have been used for services for the party. One example that comes to mind is Paul Frankel, who's one of our better petitioners out there. He was on the LNC, and he does petitioning for a living. He was willing to do it for a very fair price, and we sent him out there to get ballot access in several states. So the language we had yesterday would have prohibited that possibility. This language says that the only way it can be done is with a 2/3 vote of the National Committee, provided that the conflict of interest has been disclosed in advance. I added number 8, reasonable expenses to perform an official duty should not be reimbursed unless first evidenced by receipts, because we've had that problem in the past where somebody has been reimbursed and there was no evidence that the reimbursement was justified. There was no receipts for it. And then, of course, the last item of number 9 deals with some of the other types of conflicts that could be done by the party in violation of our principles here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Starr. To your point, we're on the amendment phase, so substitute motion is in order.
Justin O'Donnell, delegate from Louisiana. I would just suggest...
Mr. Chair?
Who's speaking?
Microphone 1.
Hold on.
I would just suggest striking 2/3 of the disinterested LNC members to replace with 2/3 of the entire LNC.
Is that a motion?
No, because it continues to say that the involved party would have to recuse themselves.
Is that debate or is that an amendment?
To speak to my argument, 2/3 of the disinterested members would...
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Is this debate or is that a motion to...
That's my motion. I would motion to replace 2/3 of the disinterested members of the LNC with 2/3 of the entire LNC, keeping the provision that the interested party must recuse themselves.
Is there a second? Seconded. It doesn't look like 20 seconds. Amendment fails. Microphone 1.
Mr. Chair, Eli
and
Dalton
state.
Webb.
Name and state.
Eli Dalton Webb, Arizona. Am I recognized?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, my concern is that we have LNC at-large members or regional representatives. Many of us don't have a bunch of money to just drop money on a plane ticket or pause our lives to go to these LNC conventions. So my concern is that if someone needs, if they have dogs at their house and, they need some money to pay for a dog sitter or any other expense, and they have an informal conversation with their people in their region, and somebody decides to Venmo or Cash App or Zelle a few dollars towards one of these LNC officers as a bona fide donation, I think it should say an informal arrangement between that donor and the LNC officer. There's nothing corrupt about receiving $50 to hire a dog sitter. My concern with Mr. Madden's amendment from yesterday was that it only allowed travel expenses. Or this new amendment, I haven't been able to fully read all of this because it was just presented a few minutes ago, but that's my concern, is that these informal donations will be weaponized against LNC officers, and that donations, the position of LNC officers will only be reserved for those who can afford it. And this is debate, this is not a motion.
Thank you, sir. We'll go to microphone 3. Mr. Starr. Oh, we have somebody else.
Mr. Chair, Paul Bracco, delegate from Virginia. I would like to offer an amendment to this proposal. Number 8, I would like to add, did you pull it up? Well, when you can you please pull it up? I would like to add, reimbursement shall be approved by a majority of the LNC. Or National Committee, sorry, National Committee, not LNC.
And where would you like to insert that language?
At the end of point number 8.
Could you repeat it again slowly for the secretary?
The secretary should have this in his inbox.
Gotcha.
I would use that copy.
Is there a second? Keep them up. All right, looks like 20. I'm asking if you have the language.
It's at the end of 8.
Mr. Bracco?
Yes, sir.
When did you send this?
I believe about 11 or so. I'm not striking anything. It's just adding something. It's this point number 8, the goal, majority vote. Rather, and got it.
Got it. All right, we're now into discussion on the amendment to the substitute motion. Microphone 2.
Mr. Chair, may I speak to my amendment?
Yes, you can, sir. Go right ahead.
So the reason why I'm putting this forward is, let's imagine a scenario where a little bit more than 1/3 of the LNC hates the chair's guts. Inconceivable, I'm sure. Let's say that the party wishes to send the chair to Freedom Fest or some other similar event, and the chair is going to incur travel expenses, incur hotel expenses, and hope that 2/3 of the LNC approves the reimbursement of those expenses. That seems like a pretty high bar to me. I think that we should treat reimbursement of expenses, which is still going to be required to provide receipts, a little bit lower threshold than something that's a conflict of interest. Thank you very much.
Microphone 2.
Rachel Danner from Louisiana. Point of information is embezzlement theft.
Just like taxation, embezzlement is theft. We are out of time on this item. We're actually out of time on this whole proposal. So we'll be moving on to the amendment vote, and then we'll be moving on to the main motion, whether or not to substitute. So we're going to go directly to a vote. Actually, one question.
Mr. Chair, motion to suspend the rules to extend time.
All right, there's a motion to suspend the rules to extend time for how long?
5 minutes.
Are there seconds? Does not appear to be enough seconds. So we'll move on to the amendment, the Bracco amendment.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just to be clear, so I'm understanding procedure, if somebody wants to adopt the language that I put forward, would they first have to vote no on the Bracco amendment, then yes on my amendment, and then ultimately yes on the entire amended proposal?
So the procedure would be the amendment was an amendment of your substitute motion. So the Bracco amendment would amend your substitute motion. The next item of business would be your substitute motion, and then that would seal the deal.
Okay, so if someone wants my
Correct.
version, they'd vote no, then yes. Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
And the amendment's a majority.
The amendments, the Bracco amendment is a majority.
Two-thirds. All right, so this is a majority vote on the amendment. All in
Mr.
favor
Chair.
of the amendment, please raise your token. Put them down. All opposed? Looks like the ayes have it. We are now on to the Starr substitute motion. That is a 2/3 vote. Mr. Starr, you seeking to recognize for some reason?
So I think at this point, we still need to have a majority vote to make it the main motion, but my request is that the amended language now be on screen so people can see that.
Your point is well taken. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Point of order. Name and state.
What was the threshold for the amended language to Aaron Starr's amendment? Was that a 2/3 threshold or a majority threshold?
It's majority.
Request for the secretary. Can you please use the language National Committee, not LNC, just to be consistent with the rest of that section?
So you're changing your proposal?
Well, no. I said it at the mic, and I saw the typo in what I. If we have to vote on this again, I'm going to just not time.
Let me know when you're ready. So it's an amendment.
So just to be clear, the language I had used at the mic was National Committee, not LNC.
Mr. Chairman, microphone 2.
Is this a privileged motion?
Yes, request for information is privileged, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask if the intention of Aaron Starr's proposed amendment to the proposal was meant to retroactively void any agreement, as in any agreement to pay a member who did not disclose a conflict of interest in advance shall be void. Is that intended to be retroactive?
Hold on. And actually, the amendment that was sent to me says LNC. That's what I have to go by.
Okay. So the amendment that was sent to the secretary says LNC, so that's what we're voting on. Just FYI, that's how it's going to appear. Would you like to respond to the point of information without objection, Mr. Starr?
Sure. So bylaws, when they're adopted, are prospectively applied, not retroactively applied. So no, it would not be an opportunity to claw back monies that were paid in the past. This is on a go-forward basis.
All right. So we're going to be voting. It's a majority vote to adopt the substitute resolution or substitute motion as the main motion, and then we'll proceed to a 2/3 vote afterwards. This is a majority vote. All in favor of the substitute motion, please raise your token. All right, put them down. All opposed? The ayes have it. We'll now move on to a final vote. All in favor of adopting the proposal, raise your token. Put them down. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is there any objection in the room to replacing LNC with National Committee, just to be consistent?
There's at least a few. All right, we're on to proposal number 10. I recognize our Bylaws Committee Chairman, Mr. Dark.
That's okay. Administrative note, 3:30 to 6 p.m. The other building, there's going to be an event going on, so you'll need to either take the skywalk across or have card access only on the Lion Street access. I know some people are going externally and entering the Amway on the other side, just so you don't get stuck outside trying to walk around the hotel to get in. All right, on to proposal 10, expand committee working windows. Committees cannot work effectively until the composition is finalized. Upon leaving them with only a few months to finish, The proposal doubles the working timelines for platform and credentials committees. This is very straightforward. I think I might have been the only one tracking all these timelines on the LNC, so I'm kind of pushing my thumb on this one. It's very simple. Please pass this proposal. And I'm very upset about having an hour of my time stolen this morning. Let's be more prompt with the program going forward. Thank you.
And after this amendment, orders of the day would be lunch. So as fast as we get through this, the faster we can go eat. All right, any discussion on proposal number 10?
Mr. Chair. Aside.
Go ahead, number 3.
Yes, Mike Seebeck, Alabama, secretary for both the bylaws and the platforms committees for the past couple of years. I wrote most of this. We've got a 2-year gap between conventions. Right now, we're doing bylaws with 12 months out and platform at 6 months and credentials at 3. We've got a huge gap we can take advantage of. Moving these back will give us the ability to work with that gap, get our jobs done in a less hurried and better fashion. And I call the question.
All in favor of calling the question, raise your token. Put them down. All opposed? The question has been called. The motion will be considered. All in favor of the proposal, please raise your token. Put them down. All opposed? Motion passes. All right, orders of the day have us at recess until 2 p.m. So we're going to go proceed to the breakout sessions, and I'll see you guys back here at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Is this open? Folks, there is a variety of Xano trainings available that are going to be not interfering with convention business. So I just tell you that today, 5:30 p.m., tomorrow, 8 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. at GH. There is limited free Xano for attendees, limited amount, but you can learn how to use private money. So again, that's at GH. It's upstairs from the main breakout rooms. Okay? Today at 5:30, tomorrow at 8 a.m., and then 5:30. Okay, that's don't call me.
Singers, come to the front of the room really quickly. All the Libertarian choir singers, come to the front of the stage here. Thank you.